You're watching our special report on Vodafone as part of our MWC22 Barcelona broadcast, and I am delighted to be joined by Alex Froment-Curtil, who is the Chief Commercial Officer of Vodafone. Alex, it's great to see you.
Thanks for having me, Justin.
Thanks for joining us, Alex. Now, of course, we're back to business in Barcelona. Tell us, what is Vodafone's aim for MWC this year?
Well, first of all, we're delighted to be back physically at MWC, where really the conversations are going to be shaping the future of our industry. Vodafone typically likes at MWC to show a glimpse of the technology of the future. But this year, we wanted to focus on one fundamental crisis that we're all facing, the climate crisis. And that's why we wanted our voice to be heard and to lead the industry in telling that we need to enable a much more sustainable society. So planet is at the heart of our MWC presence.
Yeah, you raise a very good point there, Alex, with the battle against climate change. What role can Vodafone's networks and technologies play as we look to address some of society's wider challenges?
So connectivity has played a really important role, and I think we've realized that this importance of digital inclusion is really key for Europe going forward. And so that's definitely a theme that we are focusing on as a company. But also during the COVID crisis, I think the climate challenge has really risen in everybody's conscious, whether it's consumers or businesses, governments, definitely. And so this is really a theme that we have chosen to focus on this year at MWC. And so if I reflect a bit on our network, our technology, what can we do? Well, first, as an industry and as Vodafone, we need to lead by example, which means really making sure that we are doing everything we can in our own right. So at Vodafone, for example, all our European networks are 100% powered by renewable energy. We have a big focus on e-waste to make sure we reuse and recycle our network waste. And of course, we're working on our carbon footprint with the aim to reduce our carbon footprint by 2025 and really eliminate carbon across all our footprint and supply chain by 2040. These are the so-called net zero commitments. That's what we are doing, I would say, internally. But what is really special is that as Vodafone, but also as an industry, we can enable other businesses, we can enable consumers to also have an impact on climate change. So you will see on our stand at MWC a couple of demos of how our technology can help businesses and consumers reduce their carbon footprint. Let's take a few examples. With our technology, we can help really deforestation, as we did in Romania. With our technology, we have really IoT forest management capability that we're piloting with the UK government. We'll be showing you a couple of sensors that helps businesses optimize their supply chain and their logistics. And finally, we'll be looking at for consumers how they can really take part in the circular economy of hardware.
Let's expand a little bit on that concept of the circular economy that you just mentioned, Alex. I mean, what is Vodafone doing in this area?
So as Vodafone, we realize that hardware and technical hardware is really predominant nowadays. So in today's situation, in the UK as an example, every individual has about 6 connected devices. As a household, it's probably more around 20, and we think that's going to continue growing and growing. Well, that's a real challenge for the planet. So last year, in 2021, we had announced an initiative called Eco Rating, which was about helping consumers make the right choice by identifying those smartphones that have the highest, I would say, reusability capability. That was last year. This year, in 22, Vodafone is rolling out a suite of services to help consumers prolong the life of their hardware. So from device financing to insurance and repair, and also to trade in and good as new second-hand refurbished devices. All these capabilities are really about telling the customers, let us help you prolong the lifetime of your hardware. And this is not just Vodafone doing this. I'm really inviting here the whole industry and the whole value chain to take part in this initiative to really make the circular economy a key part of our industry.
Some strong goals there, Alex. What is Vodafone's vision of the future? What are your real objectives and hopes?
So we've just published a report with the Future Laboratory around our vision of the future of connectivity. One of the first conclusions is that there's really an explosion in connectivity that is currently happening and will continue. in the next couple of years. Of course, it is driven by both the proliferation of hardware we just talked about, but also by the use cases and applications that are using our network. And as we move increasingly into AR and VR, definitely there will be a lot of demand in our networks, both from a speed, a capacity, and a latency. So I think really, as soon as you think about AR, VR, we really need 5G at scale. That's really, I say, more from the connectivity perspective. But we also see some very strong trends in terms of the connected home, because now there's more standardization and interoperability of devices, and that's a key enabler for that to take off. We're seeing a huge demand for what we call urban mobility, so green urban cities. Today, cities don't need to be smarter. They need to be greener. They need to be more sustainable. And we really believe that with IoT sensors and our capabilities, we can help governments and local mayors make their cities much more sustainable, whether around energy efficiency, electrical vehicle charging. That will make it a much better place to live. And that's maybe around kind of the neighborhood you want to live. But from a broader economy perspective, we are also seeing that now businesses will definitely embrace data-based decision-making to be able to run their business more efficiently. And that data-centric approach to business will be driven by a lot of sensor and IoT technologies. So if I look at those elements from a consumer perspective to a business perspective to a government perspective, connectivity, being able to understand the world real time, and hence the bandwidth necessary to deliver that is really our future. So the future looks very exciting. Definitely 5G is going to play a key role both for businesses and consumers going forward. And that's the vision we have. Accordingly, when I take a step back about thinking about our challenges as a society, of course there are challenges. We do have great technology, and we do believe that with this great technology, if we can get the human creativity to take those technologies, we can solve any kind of challenges of society. And that's really the mindset that we have when we say together we can.
Well, you've touched on some major topics there that I'm sure are going to be big talking points in the halls of the FIRA Grand Via this year, Alex. Thank you very much for sharing those thoughts. It's been good talking with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Suntem două persoane pe 4.000 de hectare de pădure. Ce putem face?
La Vodafone vrem ca impactul pe care îl avem în societate să fie unul benefic pentru oameni, fără a pune în pericol mediul înconjurător. De aceea avem obiective foarte clare, atât interne cât și externe, cum este acest proiect de prima pădure smart din România.
My name's Lawrence, and I'm here in the Carpathian Mountains in Romania to help stop the illegal logging and poaching that goes on in this area.
Am văzut cu toții veștile triste legate de defrișările masive din ultimii ani din România. Numărul pădurarilor este mic, numărul hectarelor ce trebuie protejate este mare. Putem ajuta. Digitalizând în mod neintrusiv pădurile, le putem proteja mai bine. Înțelegem cu toții urgența acestui fenomen. Avem o soluție deja implementată și dorim ca prin intermediul tehnologiei avansate pe care am incorporat-o în ea să contribuim la aceste eforturi.
Am dezvoltat un sistem de monitorizare acustică alimentat cu panouri solare, care, folosind rețeaua Vodafone, transmite în timp real, criptat, continuu, strigătul de ajutor al pădurii.
This is the actual Guardian device. This is the device that will be recording the sounds of the forest and then sending it back. And this inside has the mobile device.
Sunetele colectate sunt transmise către o aplicație dotată cu inteligență artificială, care le compară cu monstre din baza de date asociate unor activități suspecte.
We install the Guardians in the canopy of the forest. This protects the Guardian from the elements, from the wind, from the rain. The solar panels are designed in a really efficient way to maximize surface area. And plug the microphone in here, put some protection on.
Pădurea este smart și ne anunță prin telefon dacă este o problemă.
The ranger has the ability to know where to go because each guardian is GPS located. So when they receive their alert through their mobile phone, through the ranger app, it will say that the alert is coming from a specific location.
De când mă știu de mic copil, umblu în pădure fiindcă îmi place natura. Pădurea înseamnă trecutul și viitorul.
Together we can. Vodafone.